the friends had receipts to be like, hey, this is what we planned. Mm-hmm. This was not part of it.
Yeah.
And here are the screenshots.
Welcome to the TLDR channel. Every week we dive deep into different Reddit threads to bring you the best and worst Reddit has to offer.
Welcome to the TLDR channel. We read the stories so you don't have to. Today's story update comes from TrueOffMyChest. We filmed part 1 in the previous episode, so if you haven't seen that, go check that out. And then we'll start off with some background about everything that happened and then get into the update from OP. So, update. I finally got to talk to my friend and boyfriend after I ghosted them because of a prank, and I'm glad I did. Hi there, I'm sorry it took a while to post an update. I've been busy and I also got back to working 2 days ago, so I really don't have that much free time on my hands. But before I get started with the actual update, I would like to thank everyone who has given me their advice and wisdom, along with those who wish me well and a happy belated birthday. You folks really made me feel happy even after all that has happened. I never thought the internet strangers could be so kind, LOL. Normally I confide in my friends whenever I had a problem, but since they somehow became part of the problem, I thought maybe going here would be a good idea. And I guess it was. Truly, thank you to all of you. Although even if most of you had nothing but great advice and nice things to say, there were some who were skeptical or were even harsh, specifically in the way that I ghosted my boyfriend and everyone at the surprise party. Truth be told, I could have done something more mature, as some would say, but really in that moment, all I could think of was removing myself from that situation because I wouldn't know what I would do if I fell back into my old self. Also, sorry for any typos, I wrote this on my phone. For context, I found out my mom was cheating on my dad at 14 years old. I got home from school early and found that the house was empty. I went upstairs to go to my room, but as I got nearer to my parents' room, I heard these faint sounds of sex. And it didn't help that the door to the room was slightly opened. Curiosity got the best of me and I decided to take a peek inside. And there she was, my own mother, cheating on my dad with his coworker. I felt like I was going to be sick, like it was some sort of nightmare. I froze there for a few seconds. Dad's coworker noticed me immediately, alerted my mom, and I was watching them. When my mom finally realized what happened, she started calling out to me and tried to follow me. But I got to run into my room and lock the door before she could catch me. My mom was frantically calling out my name and knocking hard on the door, but all I could do was cry. The realization of the person I was calling my mom wasn't the person I thought that she was. Hit me like a ton of bricks, but I used to adore my mom. She was always around while my dad was working a full-time job, which made me resent my dad because he was never around. I remember hiding in my bed sheets and eventually falling asleep. Okay, so yeah, it really sounds like it was a trauma response.
Yeah, that is very...
That sounds exactly like how he reacted. I was woken up by my dad knocking on my door and calling me to come out. I had to comply, of course, and when I opened the door, my father was standing in front of me, with my mom behind him. He gave me a tight hug and asked me about the guys who had bullied me while I was walking home from school, and I was confused when he mentioned that, but I saw my mom looking mad at me and basically telling me through her face that I should go along with it. As much as I hated it, I went along with it because I didn't want to hurt my dad. Since then, I've decided to fully ignore my mom unless it was for a chore or something important. And when I moved out at 18, I made sure to go no contact on her and talk to her only when my dad wanted me to. My mom and dad eventually divorced after I moved out. Turns out he always knew. but he didn't want to do anything about it until I moved out because he didn't want to live in a household riddled with arguments and stress brought upon by divorced couples. I don't know. I don't believe in that.
Yeah, I was thinking the opposite.
Yeah.
I'm like, they're together all the time in the same house? No.
That
argue all the time.
Yeah. If you think you're doing your kids a favor, you're not. Like, don't stay together. It's better that you have parents that are happy and healthy away from each other.
Yeah, I think so too.
Okay, it didn't really work, but I appreciated my dad for still looking out for me, even if he was hurting. Then I was 19. I got into my first ever relationship. We had a pretty nice start and we were each other's first. But when I found out he was cheating on me, things got really ugly. I know this is not an excuse, but I was young and I didn't know how to handle that information when I got it. And I know how much I hated cheating. I basically went crazy on him and turned to destroying his stuff, deleting all copies of his thesis, and even went as far as doing this insane Facebook rant where I exposed his cheating and posted pictures of him and the guy who was cheating on me with. And even mentioned his mom and dad in the post and outed him without his consent. Oh, that's messed up.
I know.
Okay. We'll come back to that. I deleted the post just 2 days after, but the damage had already been done and my ex ended up moving away and living in another area because of my post. Obviously, I am thoroughly embarrassed and ashamed of what I've done, and I still regret doing all of that. When my aunt found out about what I did, she gave me a pretty stern scolding and insisted that I had to get checked by a psychiatrist because what I did isn't normal, and it's not. And I got diagnosed with severe depression, and the doctor also said that I had some unresolved trauma. Yeah. Which confused my aunt, but after telling her what happened 6 years ago, she fully understood why and gave me a tight hug and cried after I spilled everything to her. She felt bad because she wasn't able to do anything to help me before, but now is extremely mad at her sister, my mom, for doing all of that to me. Ever since then, my aunt has helped me to get the therapy and meds that I need, and essentially turned into my mother figure. My ex and I don't talk much these days, but we had made amends and are on good terms now. Now that all of this stuff from the past has finally been out, for those wondering why I did what I did.
Now on to an update. Oh, is this the same update or the same? It's just a continual of the update.
So what I read was more of like the background on why.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the actual update.
Yes.
After I submitted my original post, I packed my things that night and prepared to go to my aunt's house, which wasn't that far, but still a little bit of a drive nonetheless. When I finally got there, she was incredibly welcoming, and I thanked her for allowing me to stay in her house, even just for a while. I'm glad he has that type of aunt. Oh my gosh. Because imagine if he didn't have anyone.
Mommy aunt.
She gave me a tight hug and told me I was always welcome and that she would be help, or she would always be there to help me when I need her to. She eventually led me to the spare bedroom that they have in their house and helped me unpack my stuff. She is honestly such an incredible woman and I love her so much. She's basically the mom I've always wanted. Once I was done unpacking, I was again confronted by the fact that I haven't opened my phone for quite some time now. I've avoided it for so long that I didn't think I could open it again, but I knew I had to. The moment my phone booted up, hundreds upon hundreds of texts, chats, and missed calls popped up on my screen. Even if I was still hesitant, I decided to open my chats and looked at our friends' group chat first. The chats from the start were all very frantic in nature, with my friends asking about where I was or what happened. But after scrolling down a few more times, the chats turned into them apologizing that the prank happened and that it was not on the plan at all. One of my friends even blamed the girl that was on top of Alex, my boyfriend, and thought she was untrustworthy. Finally, the chats ended up being them hoping they could contact me and wishing I was safe. I guess they knew I just read their chats because as soon as I was done back reading, my friends immediately knew I was online and asked how I was doing and where I was. They also started apologizing again for not being able to stop the prank from happening, and that they didn't know that was going to happen and thought the original prank was going to be something else. At this point, I was thoroughly confused because they seemed happy enough to be there during that night. But I knew I had to apologize to them first for ghosting them and asking their side of the story first before speaking about what had happened. Yeah, that kind of touches base. I'm like going along with the prank, and if, they try to stop it. But essentially, they were simply planning a surprise birthday party for me with Alex in a group chat that didn't include me. Then my boyfriend added a few more people into the group chat saying that they were college friends of his, and he wanted them to be a part of the surprise too, since they always wanted to meet and get to know me better. As a suggestion, one of my boyfriend's college friends pitched the idea of them pranking me. The plan was my boyfriend is going to be on the couch with a serial killer holding a bloody knife and fake stabbing my boyfriend, while the killer was on top of him and while my boyfriend is bleeding everywhere. My boyfriend's college friends thought it would be funny to see my reaction, although my friends were initially skeptical. They reassured them it would be harmless fun, and that once my boyfriend and the friends who will be acting as the killer got their desired reaction on camera, they can just tell me that it was a prank, and my friends and my boyfriend's other college friends would come out and surprise me with their gifts and stuff. My friends eventually agreed, so as long as they don't drag out the prank, immediately reveal everything once they captured my reaction on camera. The day of the birthday comes and everything they've planned seems to be going smoothly with them waiting for me. My boyfriend's college friends ushered everyone to hide while they set up the prank. And when it was done, they would hide too. When they finally heard my boyfriend say they can come out, they thought the prank was a success because I looked absolutely mortified. But they knew something that was up even when after the prank was revealed. I was still shocked and almost teary-eyed even until I finally turned around and left. Oh, so they didn't really know what was going on. Yeah.
Okay. They switched it up.
Yeah.
That makes more sense now.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't think any friends would be like, yeah, what
Yeah.
a great idea.
Sorry, but I blame the other guy way more now.
Yeah.
They were understandably shook and confused, thinking the serial killer prank was too much, but knowing me, I wouldn't have minded at all since I love scary movies and an avid horror enjoyer. Then they realized that my boyfriend's female college friend was on top of my boyfriend, not wearing any serial killer costume and not holding any fake bloody knife. They then saw my boyfriend pushing his female college friend away from him and chasing after me. Some of them also tried to follow me, while some were asking what happened to the original plan. Even my boyfriend's other college friends were wondering why their female friend wasn't in costume, but she was just silent. After a few minutes, my boyfriend came back to our apartment looking distraught and crying. He then tells everyone that they should go and proceed to go to our bedroom. They wanted to ask him what happened, but he shut the door before they could. His female college friend then followed him inside, which really weirded them out, but after a while, they hear my boyfriend shouting at her, telling her to F off. She then goes out the door on the verge of tears and leaves the apartment. They said everything happened so fast they didn't know how to process it all. Not too long after that, though, they realized that I was missing and started calling and texting me, but I didn't respond to any of them. Eventually, I was unreachable. I turned off my phone and decided they should just go home and wait for me to respond. My boyfriend's college friends apologized profusely to what has happened and didn't mean for any of this to happen, but they basically just ignored them. They then followed their retelling of their side with videos that they've recorded that prove the accounts, along with an apology and wishing that I was doing well.
Okay, that's really good. Oh, well, at least they have
That's
proof.
good.
Yeah. Because,
Multiple people, I'm sure.
yeah, as a friend, I would immediately throw your boyfriend under the bus and be like, that was not the plan. That was not what was supposed to be
what
the
made him
prank.
change it up? Gosh.
Was it the girl, though?
Possibly, because then why would he be yelling at the girl, Let's see. After my friends told me what happened on their point of view, I felt really terrible and apologized again for ghosting them and telling them that everything that happened was none of their fault. I told them that I would make it up to them soon, but they reassured me that they accept my apology and are just happy that I'm alive and well. They also pitched to have a late birthday celebration with me this weekend, and my boyfriend and his friends are included this time. I, of course, happily agreed and thanked them for being such good friends, and that I really couldn't thank them enough for being such an awesome bunch of people. The morning of the next day, my aunt knocks on my door and wakes me up, telling me that I have a visitor downstairs. She looked a bit mad, so I could already tell who it was. It was my boyfriend Alex carrying this beautiful bouquet of flowers and my favorite chocolates with him. Even if he looked amazing, his face was the complete opposite because he looked like he was crying for days. I asked him if he found out about where I was and told me that I once turned on my phone again, an app on my phone that we could both be notified of our whereabouts. Let's see. It's basically an app that allows you and your trusted friends to share your locations in real time as long as you have internet connection and your location is on. I was a bit frustrated that he actually came to my aunt's house, but nevertheless, he was already there, so might as well just hear him out and see what he had to say. He basically reiterated what my friends told me, but he added in some details that my friends didn't know. Apparently, his old college friends reconnected with him after he lost touch with them after they graduated. They found his Facebook account through some searching and wanted to ask him about his life after all these years. They were especially happy when he told them that he currently has a boyfriend because they secretly knew he was bisexual but didn't want to make assumptions or make him feel weird about it. Alex eventually tells them about me, and he mentions that him and our friends are planning a secret birthday surprise for me, and they immediately wanted to be a part of it. After they were added to the group chat, they started suggesting ideas on how to make the surprise much more fun, until their female friend, we'll call her Anna, suggested that they do a prank to surprise me. Alex's college friends were immediately on board because they saw TikToks of it and thought it was really funny, but my friends were obviously skeptical. Eventually, they agreed what the prank is going to be, and the prank wouldn't take too long. Anna volunteered to be the serial killer since it was her idea, and they all went and did their parts of the surprise so that everything would be ready when my birthday comes. The day of the surprise party comes and everyone prepares for my arrival. When Anna and Alex went into their assigned positions for the prank, he wondered why she still wasn't in her costume.
Okay.
And Anna insists that there's no more time and that I was going to arrive soon. Alex, at this point, was extremely uncomfortable and wanted to get out of the position, but couldn't. But before he could do it, I've already opened the door and saw them. He admits that he effed up by laughing a bit at my reaction because it was exactly the reaction he thought I was going to make, but immediately realized what it looked like and called everyone to come out to save him from embarrassment and give him context to what I was seeing. When he realized that that didn't work for me, he forcefully pushed Anna away to chase after me, but he wasn't able to keep up once I got into my car. It then sunk into him that he effed up big time, and that when I drove away, that's when he remembered my trauma about cheating, which made him cry while returning to our apartment. Oh man. He tells everyone to leave and retreats to our bedroom, not really knowing what to do. To his shock, Anna comes inside her bedroom unannounced and starts confronting Alex. He repeatedly tells her to leave, that he'll be fine, but what really sent him off was Anna asking him, "So does that mean you're single now?" Ooh.
Yeah.
That's when he realized she did it on purpose. Alex then shouts at her and angrily asks her to leave, which she then complies to after looking like she just embarrassed herself.
Babes, you did. You did embarrass yourself.
Yep. Alex is in tears, and at this point he tells me that he wishes he just didn't agree with the prank. He's cut off contact with his college friends for now and is incredibly sorry about what happened. He then starts hugging me really tightly and says that he loves me so much and that he's scared of losing me. His words alone also made me cry because even after everything, I still love him deeply, and I do believe everything he said. After a minute or two of us hugging and crying, he let go of me and tells me we should go back together to our apartment, but if I still need time and stuff. Of course, I gave my aunt the warmest of hugs and told her how much I appreciated her for helping me. She was happy things got resolved, but also jokingly threatened my boyfriend that if he did something stupid or hurtful to me again, she'd personally whisk me away to safety and away from him. My boyfriend laughed, but I think he was just hiding his nervousness. Now I'm back in my apartment, and Alex even offered to throw away the couch that was used for the prank. That's funny. But I declined since it's a pretty nice couch, and everything that happened was something no one wanted besides Anna, probably.
Okay.
I've already made amends with my boyfriend, and we've been forgiving each other, and my friends are happy that things worked out. And in the end, Alex is probably not invited to the weekend party, but I've yet to ask them. Don't worry, I'm also going to get in touch with my therapist soon and book new appointments with her. per the suggestion of my aunt. This has taken all a toll on me, but I'm glad to know the support of my boyfriend, my friends, and everyone who has read my posts and shared their support to me. Also, I realized that this update is probably not what most of you wanted to happen, and as much as I was close to just giving it all up, I never had a reason to in the end, and I'm glad I got to hear their sides out before making any huge decisions that I might end up regretting later. And I do think that this is going to be the last of my updates since everything seems to be resolved at this point. But I'll try to make an update if ever something happens again, but I hope that's not going to be the case. Once again, thank you, everyone. Wow, it's actually a happy ending.
Yeah, it was a lot of it was a roller coaster of a ride, because I was also thinking that, like, towards the middle of it, I was thinking, yeah, the boyfriend Alec had a very bad judgment call. But still, I'm just imagining Anna, now that we've named her, like doing something
kind of manipulative, you know?
Yes, and something obviously sexual in nature too.
Yeah.
You know?
On purpose. Like, she would even ask that. Like, are you single?
That's so weird. Who does that?
Yeah. Goodness.
Okay, the TLDR. I've reconnected with my friends and boyfriend after ghosting them due to a prank gone around, and I'm glad that I did. For context, after taking time to process everything and staying at my aunt's house, I finally turned on my phone and read numerous messages from my friends who explained their side of the story. They were planning a surprise party for me, but the prank orchestrated by my boyfriend's college friends went horribly wrong. My friends and boyfriend were unaware of a significant change in the prank set up by... I can't read.
It's because the font is kind of small and there's so many lines. So I was like getting like confused a little bit too. I was
my eyes are like crossed right now.
Huh? Is that the right line? Okay, let's just go with it and see if that makes sense.
I know, you were so good. I lost my...
I tried. I mean, I was like, every time I thought the line was the right line, I was like, just read it. If it makes sense, if it doesn't, then go back.
It makes sense every single time. Okay. I'll have a better layout next time. My friend and boyfriend were unaware of a significant change in the prank set up by one of his college friends, Anna, which made it look like my boyfriend was cheating on me. My boyfriend, Alex, later visited me at my aunt's house looking devastated. He explained that the prank was never meant to hurt me and revealed that Anna had intentionally sabotaged the prank, possibly due to her own feelings for him. He apologized profusely, cut off his friends, and reassured me of his love. We have since reconciled, and I'm back in our apartment planning to see my therapist soon. While this experience was deeply distressing, I'm thankful for the support from my boyfriend, friends, and the community here. Don't forget your aunt. It's a big one.
Yeah, it is a big one.
Okay, so we had a lot of information, and I read this beforehand, but there were some things that I completely did not catch. So reading it a second time, that was a lot better. So I'm glad that the friends had receipts to be like, hey, this is what we planned. This was not part of it.
Yeah.
And here are the screenshots. But what I need are screenshots of the group chat from the college friends, if that's what Alec
he claims
is saying.
Yeah, because how do you not know he wasn't lying to? You know, trying to cover it up. So yeah,
exactly.
But I guess he has so much trust in him. He didn't even, question it.
So yeah, that's true. Because I would definitely need to see text messages even before, not like after.
Yeah.
Like, hey, remember how this was part of the prank?
Yeah. Yeah. Trying to get people to think or whatever. I'm glad it turned out for the better, but
yeah,
that's a while to... How long did he ghost people? They didn't really say, but it didn't seem that long because It seemed like his boyfriend showed up at the aunt's house still crying about it, you know?
Yeah.
Or made it seem like it wasn't as long as I thought it would be.
I don't think it would have been that long, especially considering how he went back to work 2 days after. So
Yeah.
now we're getting the update. The only thing too is that the pranks, especially the murder pranks, I've seen them go horribly wrong.
Yeah.
To where the person has gotten physically injured. Like you've
Or
seen
like-
those ones?
I haven't, but I could see where it would go wrong.
Yeah, there was this girl that was scared by her boyfriend. She ran out of the house and ended up getting hit by a car.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah.
Or even if the person that I was getting surprised walked in and tries to save, like if it was a murder one, try to save them, like that would go terribly wrong.
For real. They start attacking the...
Yeah. Or even what if they had a gun on them? You never know.
True.
You know? Or go to the kitchen, grab a knife.
Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so pranks, especially of those nature, not cool. Could result in some serious damage. Of course, the friends saw TikToks and were like, hey, this is going to be such a good idea.
But also, if you think about it, if Anna knew the timing of it all, why didn't she go and get dressed? Like she didn't put her costume on purpose. Like, oh, we don't have time.
That's
So,
true.
you know, she could have thought this. Yeah, this is her sabotaging. But you never know. But still, that's
100%.
fun. Yeah,
Especially with her going into the room and being like, does this mean you're single now?
yeah. It was all her doing. Especially if she did say that. She waited. And was like, oh, we don't have time. Okay.
I have a little bit of fault with Alec also because she's not in costume. She's not,
Why do you
like,
go tell her?
she doesn't have a knife. Why is she on top of you?
Yeah.
Like, what else is the
Like,
implication
get
here?
off of me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, get off of me.
I'd be like, no, it's not happening. I mean, I wouldn't do this in general, but... Okay, so controversial comment. That was a lot of paragraphs to say you have no self-worth or self-esteem and will let a boy with the intelligence and maturity of a rock come inside you as long as he pretends to give a third of a crap about you. And that was from username Raise Ire Set Fires.
Wow, he had a strong opinion there.
Wowzers.
To say you have no self-worth or self-esteem. Well, you could probably tell his opinion and his side of the story. He's like, shouldn't have went back to him. Shouldn't have forgiven him.
Exactly. I don't think this guy likes what OP did.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell for more episodes. Drop your comments, suggestions, and thoughts on these stories. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep on living.